This is Duke University.
What has been the most rewarding thing about this residency is watching the students grow, where they start timid and a little bit, you could tell that they're a little bit nervous and unsure, and the material's all new and it's a lot, and I threw a lot at them, and watching them fill out the movement and take it on and be committed, seeing them in the studio before rehearsal and after, and how they retained corrections and really tried to get all of the qualitative, detailed things, notes that I gave. So just watching the trajectory from like where they began, middle, to today, which is the last rehearsal, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe watching them. It was a very fast, fast track way of teaching this piece, and I could see that it was a little bit intimidating at first, the amount of material and how detailed everything that I was demanding of them.
How was it for you when you learned this piece? Can you remember back to?
I learned this piece I learned this piece as a duet. So I learned all of the material in a much longer period of time. So I had rehearsals are 6 hours. And so we would probably spend the first half of rehearsal rehearsing one phrase, So it's really a good amount of time to really focus and get all the juiciness and the background context of each and every, all the minutia of the material.
Who did you learn it from?
I learned it from Janet and Bill. And I first performed it with Leah Cox. She was my duet partner.
And the most challenging aspect of the teaching?
The most challenging aspect for me was not rushing. So I knew that I was only given 9 days. Majority of those days was 2-hour rehearsals. And there's a way that I would rather take my time with the students, even give them class beforehand so that they're familiar with the movement language, because it's not that foreign actually to them, but a little bit of it is, I feel like the movement is highly sophisticated movement. So the challenging thing was knowing that I didn't have that much time and not rushing with them, still giving everything its due. The most difficult thing was planning the day. So working with knowing that I had to get a certain amount done. It was just balancing how much to give them with the clock.
What would you say was your contribution to the company?
It's only now that I have been away from the company and have been working on my own material, and then this is now the second piece since I've left that I've restaged. And so having to share his movement with other dancers and find the language, remember the language, and find my own language to help that transfer of knowledge. It's only been in that I realize how much ability I have in me. And I think my contribution to the company was that I watched him like a hawk, and I soaked up that material, and I feel like I have it and I know it in the cells and pores and the skeleton of my body. And it is so accessible to me. And so maybe my contribution is that I really gave of myself in that company, and I really learned and soaked it up. And I think I was in terms of his style of dancing, I feel like I was a Bill T dancer. Seven, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? Up and over. Down. Step out. Up. La da da. Walk, walk, walk. Whoa. Da da da. Da da.
When God said something, he can't take it back. You can't take it back, Lord. I got your number here. You said you'd bless me going in and bless me coming out. You said everything I put my hands on, you would bless it. Come on, shout amen, somebody. God said I'll make you the head and not the tail. Everything you set your hands to, I will bless it if you will walk in my ways. But God is looking for a people who will learn how to take him at his word. I don't have to feel something to believe it. I don't have to look at something to believe it. All I got to do is see the word. And if God said it, let every man, let every devil be a liar. But let God be true. He cannot take his word back. Turn around in your seat, look at somebody and say, do you know the devil's a liar? And say, Lord, I believe it. Hear me? And he'll make a way where there is no way. Hey, God, why? So he can't escape. There ain't no way out. He's going to die personally to bring deliverance if there's no other way, because God is still in the healing business. Shout, power! Power! That's what he was doing.